Assalamu alaikum, this is Abdul Wakil Nazari and I would like to welcome you or you e-learning of Rana University. I'm here today with lecture number 2. I hope you have some idea about organization behavior. Last lecture I have tried to explain to you what is organization and why it is important. Let's start our lecture today. I began the lecture by the overview of previous lecture, and then we move on to the present lecture. With this procedure, we create a linkage between the previous and present lecture. As we're going to start the summary of lecture number 1, in previous lecture, we discussed organization behavior. What is organization behavior? And moreover, why it is important. We have also discussed about what do managers do, its functions, roles, skills of a manager. Furthermore, we have discussed about systematic study and as well as intuition. And we said that what does systematic study means and why systematic study is important, and what does we mean intuition, why intuition is not important for any manager when he or she taking any sort of decision. We have discussed about and we have discussed regarding some disciplines, as we said that organization behavior is not a simple two word. It is a combination of many other disciplines which composed of many other subjects. As we said that psychology, sociology, social psychology, anthropology, political science, these are the subjects. By incorporating all these subjects, so now we are studying organization behavior as a one subject. There was a previous lecture as we discussed about that what is organization behavior and why it is important, and moreover it is discussed about the manager, his functional roles. Now in first lecture I have tried to make a ground floor of your organization behavior ideology. Today we are going to start with chapter number 2, foundation of individual behavior. When we are talking about foundation of individual behavior, in this chapter we will look at how organization work to maximize the potential contribution of diverse workforce. We also look at how demographic such as ethnicity and race and their individual differences in the form of ability, affect employee performance and satisfaction. Moreover, in this chapter, we will learn how individual characteristics like age, gender, race, ethnicity, and abilities can influence employee performance. Moreover, we will also see how managers can develop awareness about these characteristics and manage a diverse workforce effectively. As we are going to start with the outline, people of course differ in many ways. When you're talking about individual differences, when you're talking about individual differences, appearance related differences such as height, weight, skin, hair, eye color are the most obvious. Interestingly, there is an evidence that appearance matters in workplace. Appearance does matter. In some of organization, employee appearance having high quality. In many organizations, they are considering appearance very much vital. Like, for example, a job, when you're applying for the news reporter, whether you are male or female, your appearance should be good. Or many other jobs that you're going to apply, your appearance does matter. But some places, appearance does not matter than your intellectual ability matters, how much you know something. The evidence also suggests that physical attractiveness matters in organizational behavior. Is another evidence. Your physical attractiveness, how much you are physically fit, not only mentally or physically. Strong person, a healthy person, giving highly importance to any organizations while recruiting. Applicants judge as a physically attractive more likely to get a job. As I said that your physical attractiveness, that can help you to crack any sort of job. But physical is not only the main concern. With the physical, you must have intellectual ability too. If you have physical ability, if you don't have intellectual ability, again there will be a gap. For cracking any sort of job, you must have both. Throughout this chapter, we will look at how basic individual difference affect employee performance and job satisfaction. Throughout this chapter, we will look at the individual differences, like what individual can, how individual can affect the employee on organization performance or on job satisfaction. Now, we begin with the biological characteristics. To begin by looking at factors that are easily definable and readable. Data can be obtained for the most part simply from the information available in employees' personal file. As we said that in biographical characteristic, our age, gender, race, length of experience or services are some of the most obvious ways employees which can make a differ. With finding and analyzing the variables that affect employee productivity, absence, turnover, diverse satisfaction. As you can see that age, gender, race, length of experience. So is there any relationship between organization performance, productivity, absence, turnover, diverse, and satisfaction? Individually, we will look at these things with everyone, with the age, the gender, race, and length of experience. We begin with the first biographical characteristic, that age. The relationship between age and job performance is likely to be an issue of increasing importance during the next decade for at least 3 reasons. I mentioned here 2, but it is 3 reasons. What are the reasons? Look, some perceptions, some beliefs, some myths are roaming around the world. What are those roaming? That is just beliefs of others. What others perceive, what other beliefs. We can say word, mouth of other. The word, mouth of others. But the reality is something else. So that's why at the beginning I have said to you that in the first lecture, being a manager, whether you are taking decision on intuition base or evidence base, like what intuition says, what other people says. The other people says that there will the first reason, of course, that is the relationship between age and job performance likely to be an issue of increasing importance during the next decade, just because of 2 reasons. Reason number one, there is a widespread belief job performance decline with the increasing age. Now, one thing, what is the first belief of the people? The first belief of the people is that as the age increases, performance of employee decline. Weather is one reason it declines. Next reason, workforce is new and aging. People perceive that the workforce is young and aging people. It's not older people. Like I said, young, age, energetic people is always accelerate the organization, as people believe that. The third one, as I did not mention it here, the third one is that employees should retire quickly, early retirement, like not less than 60, around about 50, he or she should retire from the job, because people believe at the age of this, their capacity, their ability, their intellectual power is decreased. But although it's a math. So we will discuss regarding age, with the evidence base, with the course, where I'm going to relate it with some researches. Now, so then what is the perception of older workers? Perception of older workers. What is the perception of older workers? Employer holds mixed feelings. Now, employer holds mixed feelings. They see number of positive qualities that older workers bring to their job. As the employer believe that they have number of positive qualities. Number one, their experience, judgment, strong work ethics, and commitment to the quality. Experience, judgment, strong work ethic, commitment to the quality. That what is older workers bring with yourself. But older workers also perceive or lacking of flexibility and resisting to the new technology. And that is not, we have to say, some negative points also there, that they are not that much flexible. They work on one job for a longer and longer time, but they don't want to switch to another. And one more thing, they are showing resistance to the new technology or a new change. These are the minor, not the major. Now let's look at the evidence. Now, question number one. Question number one. What effect does age actually have on turnover, absenteeism, productivity, and satisfaction? Now, the study is conducted and shows the result that the older you get, the less likely you are to quit the job. The older you get, the less likely to get quit your job. Now, from here it's going to be clear that employee turnover and aging of an older people is less. What about the productivity and absenteeism? The conclusion based on the study of age turnover relationship. As the worker gets older, they have fewer alternatives. And job opportunity. As their skills have become more specialized in a certain type of work. Now, as we look at that, the older you get, the less likely you quit a job. Why? One thing, you have less opportunity in the market. Another reason, because switching opportunities is less, that's why you are retaining in that place. Another reason, in one place working for a longer time, you will have opportunity to earn high wage rate. And as we say that, definitely its effect on productivity too. As we said that, their long tenure also tend to provide them with a longer paid vacations, with a higher, longer paid vacations, with a higher wage rate, and more attractive pension benefits. It's tempting to assume that age is also inversely related to the absenteeism. Now, you have to make it clear that age having negatively associated with absenteeism. After all, older workers less likely to quit the job. They show higher stability by coming to work more regularly. From here you have to see that they are less likely to quitting the job, because on the regular basis they are coming to their jobs. Now, from here you might have cleared that age or younger people, comparatively, older workers less likely to resign than younger workers, and older workers less likely to resign than younger workers, just because of high wage rate, long paid vacation, and more attractive benefits. Now, next question comes in mind, then whether the absence is avoidable or unavoidable among the age of employees. In general order, employees have lower rate. In general order, employee at the old age have lower rate of avoidable absence than the younger employees. However, they have equal rate in unavoidable absence as the sickness and as well as absence. Now, when you come to about productivity, you might have a question arise. How does age affect on productivity? Many believe productivity decline with the age. Many believe productivity decline with the age. There was a company, that hardware chain company. That company conducted research. The company divided its employees in two groups. Like group 1, all those people who are above than 50 years old, and group B, comparatively young people. Now they have a sales comparison. Now group A is comparing to the group B. The older workers are comparing to the younger workers for the sake of to analyze whether any difference in their productivity or not. The result is shocking. The result shows that age and job task performance are unrelated. The older workers are more likely engaged in a citizenship behavior as compared to younger. Means comparatively their sales are increased. The sales of older people are increased than younger people. Now, our final concern is the relationship between age and job satisfaction. The relationship, a review of more than 8,000 studies found that older workers are more satisfied with their works, and they having better employee relationship with their co-workers and more committed to the organization. Now next, number 2, gender. When you're talking about the gender, the questions comes because there's an issue. Few issues, more debates, misconception, and unsupported opinion than whether women perform as well as on jobs as men do. There are no consistent male and female differences in problem solving ability, analytical skills, conceptual skills, and competitive drive, motivation, sociability, and learning ability. There is no significant difference between men and women. Although, as psychological studies have found that women more willing to conform to authority and men more aggressive, more likely women have exception of success. But although it is very little difference. But what makes differ the man and woman? The issue that differ. One issue that makes gender differ when a woman have a preschool children. Definitely when a preschool children woman perceived, their perception will be flexible working hour. Their perception will be flexible working hour. And another issue which is for working mothers, they are preferring part-time job for the sake of they want work-life balance, which affect career advancement. A question comes in here. Although women quit rates are similar to those men, there is the perception of men and women. They're almost same, but the quitting rate is also similar. What about, the question is, what about absence and turnover rates? Our women less stable employees than men. Now, if you are going to answer these questions on an evidence base, like the first evidence from the study, nearly 500,000 professional employees, individual, 500 employees individually. That indicates significant differences, with the woman more likely to turn over than a man. It means that women have high turnover rate than men. Women also have higher absenteeism than men do. For example, in North America, there is all responsibility is put on women. For example, take care of child. For example, if there is something happen inside a home, something electricity is when there is something problem inside the home, plumber comes or gas comes, so they put a woman should take time to take care of that. But now the role of women has changed for the past generation. They are sharing responsibilities. But these possibilities with the man and woman have arise many other issues. Women Another issue, women who experience sexual harassment, have high level of psychological stress and lower level of job commitment and job satisfaction and high in turn to turnover. That's why the research shows that women have higher absenteeism rate than men. Race is a controversial issue. We will define race as biological heritage people use identity themselves. Race has been studies quite a bit OB, particularly in relates of employment outcomes such as personal selection, decision, performance evaluation, promotion decision, and pay rises. Racism, we all against it. And inside the organization, it is completely banned, or it shouldn't be allowed, this racism on the basis of color, age, gender, height, this nationality. This shouldn't be at any organization. But racism should be there, but on the basis of personal selection decision, performance evaluation, promotion decision, and pay rise. This will be for the benefit. It's for the benefit. It's for the benefit of employees. It's for the benefit of employees. Now, when you do racism on the basis of age, relative, color, or many other discriminations, gender, that will destroy your organization. Tenure. As you said that impact of seniority on a job performance. Now asking question that is there any effect seniority on job performance? Definitely yes. Senior people have much knowledge, experience, definitely provide quality performance. Extensive review of seniority productivity relationship has been conducted. If we define seniority as a time on a particular job, we can say that most recent evidence demonstrate positive relationship between seniority and job productivity. Positive relationship. It means that we must have senior people with us, although we cannot run our organization. So turnover expressed as work experience appears to be good predictor of employee productivity. The experienced people, if we have with us, ultimately they are the people who attract the effective manpower from the market. They are the people who increase your organization productivity. They are the people who bring the quick solution for your organization. They are the people who sort out loss of opportunities for you. They are the people who bring the opportunities. They are the people who tell you how to modify your structure strategies. Now, our biographical construct is end of origin.